Volodymyr Zelensky entered the Ukrainian parliament to a standing ovation. After taking his so-called victory plan on a whistle-stop tour of European capitals last week, this was the first time he'd made details of what it contains public. Some of it we'd heard before. He repeated Ukraine's plea to be allowed to use Western long-range missiles to strike targets deep inside Russia. When he visited London last week, there were suggestions Keir Starmer might announce a change in UK policy, allowing Kyiv to use British Storm Shadow cruise missiles to hit Russian bases. But the announcement never came, and Number 10 later said the restrictions still stood. The president also renewed his calls for more military aid. Kyiv has asked the US government for THAAD air defence systems to counter the barrages of Russian ballistic missiles that have rained down on Ukrainian cities. Washington has so far refused Kyiv's request, but much to Ukraine's bemusement, announced last week it was sending a THAAD battery to Israel. The president's plan did contain some newer requests, proposals he said that could help end the war next year. Ukraine, he told MPs, should be invited to join NATO now and not, as currently agreed, have to wait until the war ends. One fresh proposal was an offer to station Ukrainian troops outside the country after the war ends. These, said Mr. Zelensky, could replace the tens of thousands of American soldiers deployed across Europe. The president's plan is known to contain 3 more points. These have been shared with Western allies but are classified. After the speech, some Ukrainian MPs said it was too vague and relied too heavily on outside help. Some Western officials have reportedly voiced the same concern. Looming over this blueprint, of course, is the possibility of a second Trump presidency and what that might mean for Kyiv. The Kremlin later dismissed the victory plan, saying Kyiv should sober up. Mr. Zelensky said his forces are fighting 3 countries, Russia, Iran and North Korea. Russia must be forced to the diplomatic table or have its war machine destroyed. Peace for his country, he said, would only come through strength. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News.